Alright, this is for Algebra 1, Lesson 12a, and this is about graphing inequalities. And what you want to do is you want to pretend that this is an equal sign. Just graph it like you always would, and they show you that right here. So the first thing you want to do is put this in slope-intercept form, and so you want to get the y all by itself. So notice it says 3 times y, so you want to do the opposite of multiplying by 3, and we're going to divide everything by 3. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to divide every single thing by 3. So notice I get y equals, and notice right in front of the x is a 1, so this is 1 over 3, or 1/3 x, that's your slope right there, plus 3, because 9 over 3 is 3. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and graph this. Remember, you start right here at this value, that's your y-intercept. So let's go over here and let's plot that point, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to start right there. My slope is 1 over 3. That's defined as rise over run. So at least for my first point, I'm going to rise 1, and it's positive, so I'm going to run 3. 1, 2, 3. Rise 1, run 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, you can do the opposite. You can fall 1 and then go left 3. You just kind of got to do the opposite both ways. Now, here's what you got to do. You're either going to do a solid line or a dotted line, depending on this inequality sign right here. So let me show you right here. If it's a less than or equal or a greater than or equal, if it's got this or equal to part, it's going to be a solid line. If it's just strictly less than or greater than, notice it can't equal it, then it's going to be a dashed or dotted line. Okay, so in this case right here, because it's got the or equal part right there, we're going to have to make a solid line. So at this point, it looks just like it always has. Everything you've ever graphed before looks just like it. Okay, that's your line. So what you basically have just graphed is the line y equals 1/3 x plus 3. It says, will this be a solid line or a dotted line? It's going to be solid because of that or equal part. It says choose 2 points, 1 on each side of the line. You can pick, there's infinitely many points. Pick any point you want. Usually, if my line doesn't go through 0, 0, I would pick it. But just to be different, how about if we pick the point, I don't know, 3, 1. Let's try this point right here. So I'm going to try the point 3, 1. Now, I'll pick 2 points here in just a minute, but let's try this point, and what it wants you to do, remember this is your x value and this is your y value. You're going to plug that into this original equation, and we want to find out if it's true or false. So this says take 3 times y. Well, look right here, my y value is 1. So I'm going to do 3 times 1, and it says, is it less than or equal to? So is it less than or equal to x plus 9? Well, my x value here is 3 plus 9. So my question is 3 less than or equal to 12? And yes, that is true. What that tells me, I tried this point that was below the line, and it was true when I plugged it in. That means any point you would have picked would have been true. So what you want to do is take your pencil or something, and you want to shade in everything below the line. Okay, so it's going to look like this. There is infinitely many solutions to an inequality. I could pick any point. There's infinitely many under here. And anything you plug in, it would be true. Now, just to show that I'm right, I'm going to pick a point above the line, any point. How about if I try this point? It's above the line. What is that point? That's the point 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm also going to try the point 0, 4. Remember, this is an x, and this is a y, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that x and y, and I'm going to plug it into my original equation. Notice it says take 3 times y. So I'm going to take 3 times, my y value is 4. And the question is it less than or equal to x plus 9? Is it less than or equal to x? My x is 0 plus 9. Notice here I get 12, and I'm like, is that less than or equal to 9? No, it's not. That's false. Okay, so what does that mean? I picked a point above the line and it didn't work. That means nothing above the line would ever work. You only have to try one. So I definitely wouldn't want to shade above the line. So what you did there is you just confirmed that the point below the line would work because a point above the line did not. Okay, let's try another one. How about this one? first thing you do is you pretend that's an equal sign, and you get it in slope-intercept form, which means you get the y by itself. So we're going to divide everything by 2. That way those 2's cancel. So we have y is greater than, notice that's negative 1 over 2, x, and that'd be a minus 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to graph this just like it would if this was an equal sign. So I'm going to start right here. That would be my y-intercept. So I'm going to put a little point right there. My slope is 1 over 2, but negative. So I'm going to rise 1, and since it's negative, I'm going to left 2. Go up 1, left 2. Up 1, left 2. So you can see all these little dots are in a nice straight line. I can do the opposite. I can go down 1, but then I have to run in the opposite direction. So I'm going to go right 2. Down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Okay. Now, typically you would just draw a nice straight line through this and you'd be done, but because it's inequality, I need to check. Remember this? If it has the or equal part under it, it's solid. If it doesn't, it's a dotted line. When I look here at my original equation, it's just strictly greater than. So I'm going to have to do a dotted line. So let me see if I can do this while looking through my camera. Doot, doot. Okay, so you can see I did a nice dashed or dotted line. Now, it said, would this be a solid line or a dotted line? Well, it's dotted. Choose any 2 points you want, any of them, okay? Now, you can pick anything you want. Why not be really lazy and pick the point 0, 0? It's above the line, and it would be a simple point to pick. Remember, you can pick anything you want. And this is your little x, and this is your little y. So you're going to come back to your original inequality, and you're going to plug those numbers in. So it says take 2 times your y value. Look, my y value is 0. So I'm going to take 2 times my y value. It wants to know, is that greater than, this is like the opposite of your x. Well, my x value is 0. What is the opposite of 0? 0. Minus 4. So I'm going to come down here and say minus 4. So the question is 0 greater than negative 4? Yes, it is. That's true. Just got lucky. The first one I tried, and it's true. So look at this. I tried a point above the line, and it was true. That means any point above the line is going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this stuff above the line. I should have picked a different color. And I'm going to shade it in halfway neat. Okay? And it should come up right. Oops, don't go over the line like I just did. I'm trying to look through my phone, so it's kind of not good. So I'm just going to go in right in here. Okay? But notice there's infinitely many points. There's no limit. I mean, it's going to go above and all, because this keeps going on forever and ever. That means nothing below the line would work. Just to prove that it didn't work, pick something below the line. How about if we try this point right here? What is that point? Negative 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try this one. Negative 3, negative 4. It doesn't matter what you pick. I just didn't want my numbers to be the same as I do this example. So I'm going to try this point. Remember, this is your little x and this is your little y. So come up here to your original inequality. It says take 2 times your y value. So I'm going to take 2 times my y value, which is negative 4. And it wants to know, is that greater than, look, the opposite of x. Look, x is a negative 3. What's the opposite of negative 3? Is a positive 3. And then it says minus 4. So minus 4. So on this side we get negative 8. And it says, is that greater than negative 1? 3 minus 4. No, that's false. What does that mean? Well, I just tried a point below the line and it didn't work. So what does that mean? That means nothing below the line would ever work. So I just confirmed that what I did worked. And there you go.